So, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy or Legacy Evolutions Blitzwing. And Blitzwing here is a kind of re-release of the Legacy one. Like I said, Legacy or Legacy Evolution. He's an odd guy. He's the triple changer that everyone loves, but everyone also hates. This version has a lot of things behind it. It is getting an upcoming repaint. In the final wave of Legacy United, it's going to be green. Very good. Either way, this thing here is a controversial figure, to say the least, because, well, it's mostly to do with the alt forms. The robot mode, in my opinion, is perfect. It is the perfect representation of Blitzwing. It is spot on to G1 Blitzwing. Just look at it. Even turning it around, I mean, I got this big backpack, but it's kind of supposed to be there. It's mostly made of tank parts. And there's a gun back there. We'll talk about the accessories, because there's actually a couple, because he's a leader that's Voyager-sized. But that's like 75% of leaders at this point is Voyager size. The triple changers get up to the leader because, well, they need more engineering, but also after that, it's like, here's a bunch of paint. And this guy does look really good. I do like the silver all over, especially with the hips, on the stomach area. Up here looks really good, the bit of purple. Even this nice purple that he is, it's like this nice, like, kind of deep, rich purple. It looks really good. The head sculpt also looks amazing. It's just perfect Blitzwing. The yellow is very good. It's very nice pale yellow, which is nice. The visor well painted. It's exactly what you could ask for from Blitzwing. It's amazing. Now, I know my mind's a little inaccurate. Me, personally, I like to fold these silver fins in, but they are supposed to be out like this. That's how they're supposed to be. I don't care. I'm not an accuracy guy like a lot of people. I don't really care. As long as the robot mode looks like the character, I'm good. I could care less about the alt forms, if I'm being completely honest. I honestly would wish we'd get a new line where it's like, instead of doing G1 again, we get, like, you know, Optimus Prime, but he's, like, you know, a current truck instead of this. I love the different takes of characters, you know what I mean? I like that whole thing. But as far as it goes, this does look good. He comes with a couple of accessories that you're seeing. First and foremost, he comes with this gun, which is pretty accurate to the G1 gun. He comes with two, though. I don't know why he comes with two. I just have the other one on the back, just to put it there. But yeah, he comes with two. I don't know. They're there. They're good. I like them. They don't really do anything. They are blast effect compatible, not mistaken. Yes, they are. That's just the only one I have off to the side. He then also comes with a sword, which I believe is rubber, which is very much needed, because I hate the way plastic swords feel. I feel like they're going to break with the slightest, like if they fall over, it's gone. It's over. But this doesn't feel too bad. Again, storable wherever. There's tons of ports on the back for it. It's good. I do like the silver paint. And his final accessories are these, which I have in this form, which is for the alt form. So for some reason, I don't know, he comes with giant fists. I couldn't tell you why they decided. I'm going to see if I can get one on here. But they decided he needed these. I don't know. I really, like, it's one of those things where it's like they're just trying to fill out the price point. It's like how Astro Train came with, like, a bajillion guns. But at least it's a bajillion guns. You can use a bajillion guns wherever, because some figures don't have guns. So it's like, oh yeah, that's completely fine, right? What am I going to do with them? I throw them in a bin. I'm not joking. I throw them in a bin. And I don't think anyone ever used them, ever. It's one of those stupid little gimmick things. It's like, you know, a kid gets it, sure, but a collector is never going to use them. They're just there to fill the price point. That's all. But that's really it for that. So let's get to the articulation, starting with the head, which is pretty solid. But also, we have one small complaint about the robot mode. The shoulders. They don't move how you think they're going to move. The outward is there, right? So you're going to expect it to move here. Wrong. There's a small shoulder within this, which is typically the shoulder. I don't know why they designed it like that, but it's so weird. It doesn't work that well. He does have a good elbow and a swivel, and he does have a wrist swivel as well. A waist rotation, forward and not so much back, outward. A knee joint that goes well beyond 90, actually. And outward, he can kind of get a toe bend if you want, but honestly, pretty basic articulation. They definitely could have put a little more in there. Especially with the shoulders. Like, what were they thinking? I've seen these shoulders done like that. Blur from Titan's Return has the same type of transformation for the shoulder. And it can move at the shoulder and not on this weird thing. I don't get it. I really don't get why they did it that way. It just is really ugly, and it makes no sense. But that really is it for his robot mode. So let's get into the first of his transformations, which will be to the jet mode. So to first start out here, we're going to take the hands, and we're going to fold them in. You're going to move these panels out of the way, and fold them in. Once you do that, you're going to rotate these around. Once you rotate that around, you're going to take this panel, and that fills up that gap. Pretty handy way to do it. It sucks this panel doesn't really fit on the arm too good, but again, it's a nice way to do that, and I guess cover 2 gaps with 1 panel, which is pretty good. The next thing is to remove the chest piece, making Skinny Skywarp. All of his beef is gone. Open up the chest, and then once you do that, you can flip it around like so and close it up. Next thing is to come down here, and within here there is the nose cone, which does not come out on its own. It basically refuses, so I always have to get the sword, which is rubber, so it shouldn't break, and I just do that to get it out. It's the only way, really, that I figured out how to do it without, you know, having to do anything more. Next thing, close up the feet. Pretty basic step. Fold up the little fins if you don't have them folded up already. And then come into the legs and fold out the wings. Once you do that, you just take it and do the pretty basic leg transformation. The scrunch, like so. Once you've done that, straighten those out, like so. Once you straighten that out, come here, rip these off, which they tab in quite tightly, which, yeah, that's a pretty good thing, but it could also be a bad thing. You never know. And then we have to basically try and get that lined up. Sometimes it likes to go in, other times it doesn't. It's just really finicky. Those little tabs, it's all basically dependent on how the waist is. If the waist is perfect, it'll go in no problem. If the waist isn't perfect, well, then you got a problem on your hands. Anyway, you're just going to take those and do that. And there we have the jet mode, pretty much, right? Now, if we, this is the whole thing here. Oh, we have to fold out these. The jet mode looks perfect at this point. But you then realize we have all of this down here, which is the big point of contention for this figure, is the jet mode itself. You take all of this extra stuff that's just hanging off the bottom, and it just all connects onto the bottom, pegs into the arms at various points. There we go. And you get this, if I can get it to peg together, because it all decided to fall apart in a matter of seconds. And you get this jet mode, which from the top looks fine, but oh dear God. It's worse than animated Blitzwing. Somehow, it's worse. How? I don't know, but they did it. It's insane, but they did it. It don't make sense. It really doesn't. The wings up top are too small to begin with. That's one issue. For two, why is the whole tank off the bottom? If this was a disconnectable point down here, it would have been so much better, because I feel like that would have fixed people's problem. But again, you shouldn't have to break your figures to get what you want. The next thing is you can just plug the weapons on. I plugged the guns there because, yeah, of course he needs guns on the wings. And then you can take the sword and, well, do what you will with it. I mean, it's a sword. It's not going to do much on a jet. Like, what's the point of that? I mean, the purple looks nice. I like that. That's like the one thing. But it's just, the jet mode kind of sucks, because it's just, what is this? Why? Like, if this whole bit here wasn't there, like, I'm not joking. It's so weird that you can actually divide the figure in two. If you could, like, disconnect it right there, you would be golden. I'm not joking. This one hinge right here, if you could disconnect it somehow right there, that gets rid of the tank parts. I'm not, the whole tank is this. basically. You get rid of that, and the jet mode looks flawless. And you could probably make a little tank out of it, which is even weirder. It's just not what it should be, and this is supposed to go back and you have a little landing gear, but man, it just isn't where you want it to be. It looks all right, but man, it's just such a disappointment. But let's get to the better of the two all forms, which people still don't like, which I don't really see it. I think it's not that bad, honestly. So to start the transformation from the jet mode, pretty basic stuff. You're going to take the arms and you're going to fold them back as if you're going to robot mode, which is pretty good, pretty easy. Next step, take these little fins here, flip them forward, and then you can take the leg, fold it up like so, do that, fold these down, and then you're going to flip it over. And once you flip it over, you're going to come up here, flip this down, which has this section. It has a double cockpit. Why? If you know the reason, you know the reason. You're going to fold that down. Once you do that, you're going to do that. Fold these sections down once more, and they peg in to the little silver fins, and also to side in here. There's a little tiny tab that for some reason on one side is easier to get in than the other, it seems. Actually, that one's not pegged in fully, but still basically there. The next thing you're going to do is come to the side of the tank where the little purple fins are and fold them forward like so. Fold that down, rotate the tank turret around, flip this forward, flip that down, and here we have the tank mode, which looks pretty good, honestly. It's the thing that people dislike is, for one, this, which does appear in a G1 episode. Apparently it's not accurate, but I don't care. It happened in a G1 episode. It's a reference. I'm good with it. And tank boosters. That's cool. Fight me on that one, accuracy police. That is cool. Who cares? Who doesn't want a rocket-propelled tank? That's awesome. I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, I wish you could flip it around like this. You could have, like, flamethrowers or something. But, like, it's cool. I like the tank mode. Unless you throw on the big things, which is the hands, which, as you've seen in the beginning, I had them kind of, like, in there, like this. That's basically, there's this little thingy here, like this little slot, and there's like a tab back here. You just put them there. They're like giant missile pods. Yeah, it kind of sucks. There's no reason to these things. They just exist to exist. But as far as it goes, tank mode looks good. It has all the articulation you want. It can go up. It has rotation. Like, it's a perfectly well and good tank. Any hate for the tank mode, I think, is unjust. It's because of this, and I don't care because, like I said, it did appear in a G1 episode. Even if it's not accurate, I don't care. It is a tank, and it looks like this. That's all that matters to me. I don't care about anything else. But as far as it goes, that's really it for the alt forms. So let's just get to the final thoughts on them here. As far as they would go, pretty good. I mean, I don't hate this figure like a lot of people tend to do. I've seen a lot of negative reviews on this guy. But he's not bad. Like, he really isn't the worst. He's a guy who goes on clearance quite frequently on Hasbro Pulse. So if you do want him, and I'm going to say this now, that green one is going to shelf warm. So yeah, you're probably going to have a pretty good shot at getting the mold if you never got it, which, I mean, the only reason really not to is because, again, he's a leader. But if you can get him on sale, then, I mean, I don't see a reason not to buy him. He's really solid. Like, really solid, in my opinion. The jet mode sucks. We're not even going to sugarcoat it. The jet mode sucks. That's one of those things with triple changers, though. One of the modes usually sucks. Until lately, honestly. They've been actually pretty well doing them great justice at this point. Except for Blitzwing here, who, again, is a very strange character for toys. He never gets the best ones. He never gets a good toy. And I think they nailed the robot mode. They nailed the tank mode. But they usually nail the tank mode. It's the jet mode that always has problems. And once again, it's the problematic alt form that well, again, they should have put a little more time into. I think, me personally, they should have designed it with the jet in mind instead of the tank. Because every other version tends to go with the tank in mind. The tank is always the best one between the alt forms. So, as much as it's like, you know, they could have did it, I think they should have did it with that in mind instead of tank. As much as the tank's cool and the tank's good, in my opinion, the figure himself has a lot of flaws. Just a lot of minor flaws that definitely could be fixed. The robot mode, though, if that's what you're buying it for, shoulders, that's the only issue. He's not back heavy, he's not really anything. It's perfect. It's perfect. He comes with even 3 good accessories. That's the thing. He comes with 3 good accessories. Amazing. But, yeah, as far as the rating goes, I'm not going to give him a great rating. I'm going to give him a 3.5 just because that jet mode kills it. Again, the tank mode's fine. The tank mode has the better transformation, in my opinion, as well. The robot mode has one issue. If you can get him for cheap, 100% do it. I don't think you'd regret it. At full retail, you might a little, but on sale, definitely not. But that's really all I have to say about Legacy Evolution Blitzwing. This has been Ilthot Elite signing out.